Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm reading for Dr. Martin Luther King. It is an absolute honour to read for Dr. King. I would hope that if you clicked on this video you would know who Dr. King is, so I'm not going to do a massive rundown, but Dr. King was the leader of the civil rights movement in America. He was all about getting equal rights for African Americans in America. He protested peacefully, he believed in peaceful protests, he was very anti-violence, and he made massive change. He was in the White House talking to the president, he was making big movements, people wanted to interview him. He did a lot of interviews talking about black civil rights, and he led the movement from 1955 all the way up until his murder in 1968. He made profound change, he really did. He made monumental change, he brought acts and laws into place. He was basically the whole reason that the Voting Rights Act was passed, which protects the right to vote for African Americans. He is the reason that you can go and vote, so please go and vote. If you're African American, please go and vote. This man made it possible for you. He really just wanted equal opportunities, equal citizenship, equal rights for the black community, and he was all about doing it in a peaceful way. I have Martin Luther King's energy here with me, and I'm going to be entirely honest. I have to be entirely honest. One of the first things he said to me as I connected with him was, I'm tired. I'm dead, but I'm tired. And I can just feel the drain in him. He's saying, I expected things to, why are we still fighting this? Why are we still having to protest? I died so many years ago and we had implemented change, but I thought we would have been way ahead of where we are now. He's like, I can't believe the human race. He's saying, I can't believe this is still happening. Nonetheless, we must still protest. And he's, I think towards the end of Martin Luther King's life, he was tired anyway. He was tired. He's saying, towards the end of my life, I had sacrificed so much of my own life, but for my own life and for the life of my family, for the life of my community, but I was most definitely tired. And I can just tell you, his heart is hurt. Yeah, he's saying it again now, but he did say when I first connected with him, he said, we're all mourning up here. Me, my wife, all of the civil rights community who fought for change. He's like, even me and Malcolm X, we have cried together. Our spirits have cried. It's really funny. He's drawing me outside. It's raining out here. He's like, those are our tears. He's like, we are mourning this. He's in a bit of shock. He wants to talk about Barack Obama's presidency. He's bringing in Barack Obama's presidency, and he's saying, this was such a time of change, and he's showing me, he's actually bringing me up to spirit, or heaven, or wherever, the spiritual realm, and he's showing me the parties that were thrown. My gosh. Yeah. you had amazing parties. The flags, the dinner parties, the celebration that was thrown when Barack Obama got into the White House, as opposed to when Donald Trump got into the White House. Now, he is actually telling me that Donald Trump will be surpassed, so he's telling me that Donald Trump will leave the White House. He's saying he will be replaced by Joe Biden. He's saying it's going to be replaced by a male, so I believe he's talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden, he's saying he will pass a lot of laws to help the people, but he's saying it's not enough. He's bringing me towards a black female. I picked up on her last time. I can't remember if it was in the Malcolm X reading or if it was in What Is to Come for the USA. But I picked up on this woman before. I believe she is the mayor of Washington. She is going to make massive movements, and I feel like the next presidential election she might actually run. There is a black female to become president of the United States. he is saying again, I keep being told this by Spirit, that change is coming, but it's going to be very slow burning. He's also talking about, and I've had many conversations with Spirit about this, I find it very strange that in all the different states of America you have different laws, and he's talking about a one state law. He's saying that America needs to be treated as one state as opposed to, 51, how many states is that? I don't know. As opposed to all the different states being treated as different countries, because you're not different countries, you're different states, but you're one country. So there needs to be a binding together of things. He is talking about the structural. He's very Martin Luther King. I have to say this because it's really interesting for their opposing spirits. I was really intrigued as to how different their spirits would be. Malcolm X was very passionate, and he was very emotional, and he was very in his heart and in his feelings, and he was, very, very passionate, very much a Taurus. And Martin Luther King is very much a Capricorn. He's very reserved. He's very intellectual. So he's wanting to approach this with a procedure, with a plan, he's saying this is what you need to do, because he's literally going like this. He's like, we need to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. He's saying the emotions are amazing, because without it we don't have any motivation or any passion, but we need to have a plan in place. We are going to see more black men and women in positions of power, and that's exactly what we need. He's also talking about the school system and how the school system needs to change. There needs to be more push for black education in the classroom. He's saying it does start from a very young age. He wants to go into all different realms of things, and he is talking about the money and how more money needs to be put into black communities. This world, he's saying, is governed by money. Regardless of your race, this world is governed by money. And if you are in a community that doesn't have money invested into it, then you don't even have a chance of stepping foot into the council, stepping foot into the governance. We need that economic input. We need black citizens to be able to buy houses. Martin Luther King was very big on housing and the housing state, and black Americans being able to buy houses in dominantly white communities. We need to mix. He's very about that. We need to mix. But his energy is very, he is a real leader. He is really and I have to say, they would have, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would have worked so well together. Don't get me wrong, they would have butt heads, but they would have worked amazingly together, because Malcolm X had the passion and the where Martin Luther King was getting tired. Malcolm X got tired as well, but he had the passion and the motivation and the emotional drive, and Martin Luther King had the intellectual drive. So together they would have been an absolute force to be reckoned with. He is talking about the divide and the conquer, and the tearing apart kind of thing. He's also talking about that the human race is being divided and conquered, and he wants to go back to the 51 states. Forgive me, I don't know if there's 50 or 51 states in America, but he's basically making me feel as if they're divided. They are divided, and they need to be one. They need to be one. This isn't about Atlanta's problem. This isn't about New York's problem, California's problem. This is about everyone. This is a big, he's even saying the world. This is the world's problem. We're not different countries, really. We're all just one Earth, one planet Earth. The shift, he's talking about the mind. He's like, there needs to be an intellectual shift. See, I always talk about a spiritual shift, which talks about becoming aware, awakening, waking up to the fact that this life is temporary. He's talking about an intellectual shift. I feel like Malcolm X touched on this, but he's talking about the fact that we're not bold enough to be smart. My goodness, this man is extremely intelligent. I don't even feel like I can articulate his words correctly. But he's saying this current generation, and even the generations before, the generation that is on this planet, you're not bold enough to be smart. You care too much what people think. You care too much what people say. You're scared to look powerful. You're scared to be powerful, and it's the fear that is suppressing the energy of the earth, and it's the fear that is pushing us down. The fear of standing in your own truth and demanding what you want and demanding change. Okay, he's getting a bit angry now. Okay, wow. He is, I can feel it. It's like it's from one juxtaposition to the other. He's on a real mix of emotions. It's like 1 minute he's very, very sad, tearful, very, very like mournful, very, very low, and then he's angry. I'm sick of seeing my people suppressed. Absolutely. He is tired. He's tired of this. He's like, you know, when I passed away, my work didn't stop. I have worked tirelessly to try and make this change. Why are we still having to combat this? Why is this still a problem? Now, he wants to be hopeful because he wants to keep people's momentum high. He is saying that change will come, and he is drawing me back again to this African-American woman who I do feel is going to make her way into the White House. Now, he is tying her to Joe Biden. So I don't know if she's a supporter of his, if she's going to end up being a vice president of his, if she's going to be his secretary or something like that. But this woman is going to gain a lot of power, a lot of following, and she is a force to be reckoned with. He really wants to draw attention to this woman because she's going to get a lot of attention. And when she does come, I feel like once she is there, then we will start to really see positive change. Until then, I feel like he's making me feel like there's going to be a fight on our hands. He's not showing me too much, I'll be entirely honest. He's talking about the year 2024 being quite significant. Is there a vote in 2024? Because he's talking about a vote and a new... He's drawing 2024 and underlining it. He's talking about there's a vote that's going to take place in 2024. It's just making me write it. Okay. When that vote takes place, you're going to see a completely different way of doing things for the better. He is making me feel like from now until then, we've got a big fight on our hands. It is like an energetical, spiritual war. He's saying you will not see a physical civil war break out, but it is a war between good and evil. He is actually saying it's no longer about race because, and actually he's saying it's never really been about white against black. It's really like we had white allies. He's saying we had white allies, but it's good against evil. And you know, there will be days when you will be tired. He's saying I am tired, but there are more than one way you can fight. This is about heightening your intellect. You do not have to be violent. You don't even have to protest peacefully. Read books. Again, this is similar to Malcolm X. Your armor will be your education. It will be the knowledge that you gain, the laws that you know, the truth that you speak, standing up for one another. We are on the verge of change, but we're not quite there yet. He does want to say thank you, though. I had this for Malcolm X. Very similar vibes. You would have worked amazingly together. Yes, we could have, yeah. You really would have. He's saying, please let my people know I am with them. Please let them know I am with them and I support them. There's a lot of controversial talk at the moment about his name being used in vain. He's saying, do not listen to what people say about what I would have wanted and how I would have wanted things. He's talking about manipulation and how people are manipulating what's happening. Do not let them use my name in vain. I completely support what is happening. He's saying that people will start to say things like, oh, Martin Luther King would have never been proud of the way that this generation has protested. He wants to know that he is so proud. He's just upset and tired that you're still having to do this. We're still having to do this. He is absolutely proud, and he's saying, I completely support you. Do not let them use my name in vain. He's also talking about them using this whole thing as a way to paint more brushes and tar more labels and say, oh, look at the black community, look how aggressive they are, look at all of this. Stay headstrong. He's really saying, you know, once you lose your head, it's game over. Once we bite back, once we fight back, once we lose our mentality of why we're doing this and what is at the cause of this and what we really want, we've lost the game. Stay focused. I am with you. I support you. Change is coming. Change is here. He wants to talk about his I had a dream speech. He's saying my dream still stands. And thanks to you, my dream will come true. I just hope we don't have to fight for too much longer for that to be the case. He really wants to draw me to the tarot cards, so I did get them out. I'm just going to get them and I'll pull some cards. So, what did we do with those? Okay. So, he's like, change is gonna come. Change is gonna come. He's saying it now. He's like, you know, you best believe, you know. He's getting angry. Martin Luther King. Show me through the cards what you want to say. Show me through the cards what you want to say. Okay, Queen of Swords. I believe he's really talking about this woman. He's really talking about this woman, and I do believe she may be right now the Mayor of Washington. I could be wrong, but there is a woman making bold statements. He's saying she's doing it now, but she's gonna be on this protest with the people from now right until the finish line. He wants to reassure people, because he's saying people are scared, and he wants to reassure people that there will be a day when we don't have to do this. He wants to understand that there are many things happening in the world right now, to see things from a bigger perspective. He's saying that, you know, with the virus, he is wanting to talk about the virus. He's like, be safe. Don't have it as an excuse for them to kill our people. Be aware. Read behind the headlines, read between the lines. He's saying there are bigger things going on that we don't even know about. And please be assured that there is a spiritual army ready to battle with you. But we need human beings on the front line ready to fight with us. He's saying peaceful fight. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to say, Martin? He does want to talk about Joe Biden. Ooh. Two of Wands. Reliable, equal partnership. All he cares about, all he ever cared about. Again, same as Malcolm X. Even though their approaches were different, they wanted the same thing. Equal opportunities for their people. Now, Wands card signifies passion, career, arts. He is really drawing to equal opportunities in the workplace, but equal positions of black and white people, even Hispanic, he's saying, Asian. Yeah, he's saying just a mixture, a diverse. There needs to be more diversity. It needs to be equal in the positions of power. Okay. Two more cards. Okay. Show me the card. The next card you'd like me to speak on. Oh. That was a load of cards. It wasn't just one. It's getting passionate in here. Please show me the next card you'd like. Right. Interesting. The Hermit card. Now, when the Hermit card shows up in a reading, it talks about isolation, reflection, reassessing. He is talking about people acting very blindly. People aren't thinking. He keeps drawing me to the mind. As a collection, people are getting tired. Remember that it's okay to rest and recoup. He is saying, I was not on the streets every day. He's openly saying that. He was like, I was not on the streets every day protesting, but I was doing just even a little thing day by day, because every little thing adds up. So he was like, even if I wasn't on the streets protesting, I was researching, I was reading, I was writing to councils. You know, he is talking about protesting coming in all different shapes and forms, but he is saying that there needs to be, you need to recharge. Would that be right? He's saying yes. He's saying, I cannot have my people out there tired. He's like, I'm tired. I can't have you tired. So please look after yourselves. Thank you. He's also saying, if you look at the Hermit card, can you see it's like light, a beacon of light in the darkness. He wants to reassure that even though things do seem very dark right now, light is on its way. Look for the light. He is saying that the news, even certain points of social media, things that are flashing up on your screen, they will have you believe certain things. Don't just believe everything you read. Malcolm X said this, you know, look for the light, because when you look for something and you focus on something, it grows. Oh my goodness. Martin Luther King practiced the law of attraction. I did not know that. Wow. Okay, he's saying that's enough on the cards. He wants to end on that, actually. That is really interesting. As he began to talk about that, he talked about the visualization and focusing on the light even when it seems dark. He is saying, I would sit and I would visualize things, and I had a deep knowing and a deep connection with my God. He's saying I wouldn't call myself spiritual, but I was highly hyper aware. And he is saying that he did use what we would now know as the law of attraction. And that's really interesting, because I'm just about to go on a journey with the law of attraction, so I cannot believe, spirit is divine, you know. They chose the placements of these readings. You know, I asked them who should go where and who should I read for when, and you know, they said Malcolm and Martin first. So it is, you know, they are spiritually divine in everything they do. But yeah, wow. He is saying it now. I'm going to do it when I switch off this camera, but I'm going to go and YouTube and Google Martin Luther King law of attraction. He is saying that he used the law of attraction. You can protest in many ways. Let freedom ring. God bless. Thank you so much. What a beautiful reading. I really loved that. So many beautiful gems of goodness and light to be taken there from Dr. King. If you like this reading, please go and research more on Dr. King. He was an amazing man, did amazing things, not just for the African American community, but for America and for this world. He demonstrated that love is the way. Love always wins, and good will prevail over evil. I highly recommend watching Selma. It's a really good film on Martin Luther King's protest and his life and his fight for African Americans to be able to vote. I just hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please hit a lovely thumbs up. Comment some love for Dr. King down below, and I'll see you soon for another reading video. Thank you, lovelies. Bye.